I'm gonna blur this out, but I think we found the ring. Sorry guys for the bad lighting, but we are starting today's video in the parking garage. We literally just parked under Yorkville Village. Fun fact, Whole Foods actually validates parking. So what we usually do is we usually just buy a few things at Whole Foods because we eat mainly plant-based anyway, so there's always something I gotta pick up, and it ends up validating our parking. Yorkville hack, sort of. Anyway, we are here for part 2 of finding the engagement ring, doing the whole thing. We're doing a custom engagement ring with our friends at Couple. We are back at their Toronto store today to look at a few diamonds for the ring. I am so excited to show you guys. We also are going to be showing you guys a few renders, but we're not going to tell you which one we decided with. And we're also going to answer a few questions, so definitely stay tuned. But if you haven't watched part 1 yet, where we're just shopping for rings in general and the whole beginning of this whole process, I will link it up in the cards somewhere up here. So so excited!
Yeah, let's do
Let's do it. Make our choice any easier.
I know.
Is that what the band would look like? Is like a similar band?
So the one on the top left is the similar solitaire setting, just with the round cut.
Yeah.
This is so beautiful. I think emerald's the way to go.
It's just like a little black line inside the stone. So basically what you do is just pull the loop all the way up to your eye.
Okay.
And then bring the diamond in until it's about an inch away from the loop. So bring the diamond a little closer, somewhere around there.
I see. Okay, I don't see it.
You don't see it?
There's like a little black line right at the edge of the stone, like at the edge of the table facet.
I don't see it, but I believe you. Trying to find the inclusion in the diamond.
Game.
It is like a game. Wow.
Oh my god, my hands
Like-
are so shaky from coffee.
I know. Can you see it?
No.
I can't see it. I mean, we're not trained at this, but
It's
I mean,
a
it's
PS1, so even the
I
inclusions
honestly
in that
think
are very
like I
small.
fogged up
Yeah.
the magnifying glass somehow. Oh, that's nice too.
so nice. That's so nice. And it's gonna look like it's, you guys can see, it's like more raised right now, so it's gonna be look a little smaller than what you guys can see on the video. But like, it's so perfect. It's so pretty. That's so big.
Look at that.
Or is it this one?
Ooh, that's the one.
Do people usually put their band on before or after their ring? Like
Like on
on top or below?
Usually the wedding band goes first,
Okay.
and then the engagement ring above that.
Right, okay, that's what I thought, but so pretty. So pretty.
Let me see. I've got the other emerald.
Yeah,
Maybe
that'd
see
be
if
so
that
cool.
one-
So pretty. So this is a vertical emerald, 2.5 carat. GVS1?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, GVS1. You guys can see. I don't know if, there you go. You guys can see. So pretty with the cigar band. Okay, guys, Diamonds 101 with me. Okay, so we each of these stones are 3 carats. I'm gonna pull it up on the phone so you guys can see better. But carat is basically just weight. So carat doesn't necessarily mean larger size depending on the cut. These are both 3 carats, and if you guys can see the oval, it kind of cones down, so all the weight is distributed at the top of the diamond, and it makes it look, it spreads just a little bit larger and it shows a lot larger versus an emerald. So sometimes just because 2 stones are 3 carat, 2 different cuts are 3 carat, it doesn't necessarily mean that each of them are going to be the exact same size. So you guys can see versus like the step cuts here, the weight is just distributed just slightly more evenly than something like this where it tapers a lot more narrow, like quicker. So that's the difference. So if you want something, if you want an emerald that looks as large as a 3 carat oval, you may have to do a larger emerald. So I'm gonna blur this out, but I think we found the ring. I think we know what we're doing. We are back with a haircut and another haircut. So a few weeks ago, we actually went to the couple store for our second appointment. I know a few of you guys had questions about what this whole process was like, so we'll kind of dip into some of the more specifics. If you hear pitter patter, that's our dog running around. The most asked question was all about budget. There wasn't a specific question with budget, but I know a lot of you guys are curious how much rings can cost in general. We, much like our house, are not sharing our personal budget, but generally from when you guys see the ring eventually, you will kind of have an idea of how much it will cost. Just wait for the ring reveal.
Our gemologist, Michael, helped us through the entire design process, which if you go with couple, they'll do the same for you. Basically, the way that you determine the budget of the ring is going through the 4 C's, which stand for
cut,
color,
clarity,
and carat.
My mom worked in jewelry before too, and we also did ask Michael, like, is there one that's like the most important? And honestly, there's no like straight answer for this. It depends on what you want in a diamond. Like if size matters the most, then carat will probably matter the most to you. But you could have a very large stone, but if it has a lot of little inclusions or it's not a great color, it's not going to be worth a lot no matter how big the stone is. It's just not going to be as nice of a stone. The way we decide to go with it is quality over quantity. But also a lot of inclusions aren't able to be even seen with the naked eye. So it's not like necessarily, you may not mind it is like my point. It's totally up to you.
But basically the budget is just dependent on your personal preference, which is why we loved partnering with couple, because we got to design the ring that suited us the best. So for example, the first thing that we thought about was basically the cut, which was the shape of the diamonds that we like.
So there are all different types of shapes. We did kind of go over that in the first video. So there are fancy shapes like an emerald, and then there are more like classic shapes like a round brilliant.
Oval.
Yeah, I also want to clarify that mine diamonds are graded on the same diamond grading scales as lab-grown diamonds. It's pretty much interchangeable when you see the reports, except if you have a lab-grown diamond, obviously it will say it was lab-grown.
Basically what Michael recommended for the diamond that we chose was basically a minimum quality of GVS2.
We're not diamond experts, we're not gemologists, but we're doing VS2, which is very slightly included, which means there are minimum inclusions around the diamond. It also depends on where they're placed in the diamond. You guys probably saw in the beginning during our second appointment. But these are very, very difficult to see to the naked eye. You definitely need to put it under a diamond loop or like a microscope or something like that.
And even then, we looked through the loop and we didn't see anything.
We personally couldn't see anything. But again, if you're picky,
a trained gemologist would probably know.
Basically, the higher quality the diamond, the more expensive. However, if you do go with a lab-grown diamond, they are at a far more affordable price point in comparison to mine diamonds that are like natural, like from the earth.
I think a question that would come up though is why would a lab-grown diamond have inclusions in it? And that's because it goes through the same chemical process that a diamond has to grow at. It's just done in a lab.
I know you guys are waiting for the renders, and let's start out with the first type of render that we saw. So I was really hell-bent on the idea of a 3-stone ring. I don't even know where this came with me. I think it's like, you know when you watch those like bridal dress shows and then you get carried away and then suddenly you're in like a poofy gown, or like the bride in the show's in a poofy gown. It's like similar to that. I think I just got a little bit carried away because honestly, even though they're beautiful, it did feel a bit mature for my style. But we looked at, in the render that Michael drew up for us, an elongated cushion with 2 baguettes on the side, and it was so beautiful. We looked at it in a platinum setting. And I think we also looked at the render in a radiant setting as well. Yeah. I mean, a radiant stone as well. Radiant is like crushed ice, and then a cushion has more like just a different type of facet. It's a little bit more uniform than a radiant, which is kind of random. And both were at about a 2 carat in the center stone, and then I think there were 0.5 carats on the sides.
For the little baguettes. Yeah,
that was really, really beautiful. And why I started thinking about platinum was because it is very hard wearing, and that's just how we, like, that's basically what I was thinking. But then the more we thought about it, the more we realized how much gold I wear. You guys can see it on my Instagram. You literally can see it right now. Right now, I wear a lot of gold, and even though I do mix metals, I think ultimately it would make a lot more sense for the setting to be, not setting, for the band to be gold, the shank to be gold. And then
we'll do this setting in platinum because it's more hard wearing.
Yeah.
But then we can still keep it to match the rest of
Yeah.
it.
So we kind of decided we're going to do a gold band, but then we're going to do prongs and like the setting in platinum, just because it's hard wearing and I'm accident prone, and it just makes sense. There's different ways to set your diamond. There's like the basket setting.
There's the cathedral setting.
And then there's like a bunch of different fancy ones in between. You can even do a hidden halo, which is basically all these little pave stones that are on your setting, like that kind of wrap around the diamond like this. Below it, so when you look at it parallel you can see it. So there's like a bunch of different options that you can obviously do. We decided not to go with anything pave, it's just not as much my taste. One thing we looked at is emeralds.
Yes.
Emerald cut diamonds. I should differentiate that because emerald is also a stone. It's the green stone. But emerald cut diamonds, and I originally wanted one. I think I may have mentioned that in the first video, but they didn't have one in store. And then on top of that, I know they're not as shiny, and I was like so getting like enveloped in the shiny and like the fancy and like all that. And then we started looking at emerald cut stones again. I was looking at them with my mom, and I kind of just like, the more I sat with it, and after I did like the whole fun try on everything, I just realized how much more us that was and how much more me it was. And we started considering maybe not doing a 3-stone option. We weren't too sure. We tried on a bunch of different ones, and Michael actually drew up a render which we are going to be keeping to ourselves.
Yeah, no, Michael was great at helping us because at those last stages we kept changing our minds between the different types of designs we wanted, the different settings, and we worked with Michael and he was able to create these renders for the ring that we wanted, like in a few days.
Yeah, it was literally a few days. They're so quick. And then I know a lot of you guys asked, how long does it take for production? I believe it's 2 to 3 weeks is usually what it is, but again it depends because they are not set here. They're actually created in New York and then shipped here. We're definitely not engaged. We're just going through the ring shopping process, and I really hope that this video like destigmatizes that whole idea of ring shopping together, how that may take like the excitement out of it or anything, because personally I loved really being involved in it, and we kind of decided like what I was going to be involved in and what Dylan was going to take the reins on. So we hope you guys enjoyed this video. We want to thank Couple again for sponsoring today's video, as well as just taking us along this most incredible experience with us. We've had so much fun and they're just so amazing. So I'm gonna have all their information so you guys can book a consultation if you are interested in ring shopping yourself in the description box below. If you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comments, or you can head on over to my Instagram or Couple's Instagram if you guys need any more help and you're going through this process too, or you're going through this process soon. See you guys in Italy. Okay, bye.